Hello, everybody. I'm glad you're here today. Today is May 5th, 2025. Over the weekend, we had a missile attack from the Houthis on Israel. No defense system stopped this missile from going in and landing right outside this airport, is my understanding. And the THAAD missile, the American THAAD missile system, did not stop it, nor did the Israeli big dome, you know it ain't coming through missile system stoppage thing. That didn't work either. So one got through. Okay, I don't know one out of how many. I've heard one out of 27. I don't even know, y'all. I don't even know what information is true or not, but this is news that happened over the weekend. Israel vows and declares they're gonna attack and retaliate. I'm like, by this time in all of this, y'all, or tell me if you're with me or not, I don't know, but I'm like, this is going to be a slow buildup. All right, this is not going to be a one and done kind of thing. It is going to be something that is like death by a thousand cuts. I mean, that is where that's where I'm like, okay, so I no longer get too much in a lather about these kinds of things happening, even the threats, even we're going to retaliate. Oh, the airspace over this country has been shut down. These citizens are being told to leave this country. This embassy is closed down. I used to be like, oh my goodness, call it desensitization. Yeah, probably. I'll own that. It's not y'all, I'm not like normalizing it, like where I ignore it, but I'm thinking, okay, what I once thought was like, I guess I got that from the 90s when we attacked Iraq, and it was like this big night of, shock and awe. Shock and awe. You remember shock and awe? I watched it on the TV while I fed my baby a bottle. I mean, I was like a new mother. I was like, talk about shock and awe. I was in shock and awe. Okay. I was like, I don't know what I'm watching on TV here. A war. All right. That's what that was new. That was new for me. So, yeah, no, I don't, this isn't that. I'm not sure what all this is, but it's not that. Okay. So, the big one, I just don't see that there's going. Maybe there will. Maybe there will be a big, like, flashbulb moment, which is what Canadian Prepper calls it. A big moment where we're like, we remember for the rest of our lives where we were when that moment happened on the face of the planet. Like 9/11, or like the COVID shutdown, or, that week, or, all of those things. Well, you don't want to go too far back. You're going to tell your age, but it doesn't. That's not the point I'm making. There may be a moment like that. If there is, at this point, I'd be surprised. I just think we're soft pedaling. We're going this way a little bit, and then we're pulling back, and then we're acting like the nice guy, and then we're going to act like the tough guy. And I'm just like, whatever. You play whatever games you got to play. I'm going to get ready for whatever is going to happen by just prepping what I think I need. All right, what I think I'm going to be needing. So, here's a note that came out that I noticed on YouTube. Southern Prepper 1 is doing boots on the ground reports again, which I thought was really interesting. He, I don't know if he burned out on his channel. Y'all, it's super easy to burn out with your YouTube channel because you get real enthusiastic. You love it, you love it, you love it. And then it can really consume you if you're not careful. And I don't know if that's what happened to him. It felt like he pulled back a little bit for several months, maybe even a year. I don't know. But now he announced he's doing boots on the ground again, where everybody across the nation, gives him information so that we can kind of know what's going on everywhere. I like that. I like him. I think he's as honest as he can be, and he's a believer in Jesus Christ. So I'm all for him. Anyway, I'm going to start like listening to him a little more. NY Prepper, of course, Canadian Prepper, Monkey Works, y'all. high school, I'm going back, okay? You remember how in high school, there were the cliques, all right? There were the cool people, there were the druggies, there were the artsy-fartsy people, there were the French-German club, Spanish club, and then there was the shop people and the ag people, and, you remember that? You remember how that used to be? Well, I was never I was never in the cool group. Now, I had friends in the cool group, but I never ran with them really. We were in student council together. I was in student council, um, some of my years in high school, but yeah, the cool people. I mean, I was in the choral department. I was president of the choir department. I was, that's where I was. I was in the drama. I was in theater. Maybe the artsy fartsy people. That's probably me, but yeah, the cool people wanted nothing to do with me. I'll just say that the really, really cool people, they knew what to wear, they knew how to act. I think they knew what to smoke. I mean, I don't know what they were doing, but they were cool. Okay, I feel that way when I tune into Monkey Works. I feel like I'm in high school again, which is not, those weren't my best years, y'all. Uh, I feel like I'm in high school again in the hallway, holding my books, all my books on my hip because we didn't have backpacks. I didn't. Maybe I did. I don't remember. I carried my books a lot. Um, just throw them in your locker and remember how we did? Anyway, I feel like I'm just from out the outside looking in. Like he's in the cool group, all right? And he talks real razzmatazz and kind of, real, here's the deets, and I'm like, oh, that's short for details. I feel like I have to tell my children that when they're in the kitchen with me and I'm listening. I was like, oh, this is Monkey Works. When he says these are the deets, he's saying these are the details. That's a cool way of saying that. That's how I feel when I have to listen to Monkey Works. But from time to time he has some really good information, and so if I can get through feeling like a complete nerd listening to him, then yeah, I do think he has some good information, and I think he is pointing us into correct information about what is coming on the horizon. Now, we all have dreams and visions. Many of us have. You are more than welcome to post those in the comment section. um we continue to get dreams in my family. I'm not bringing them all on this channel yet. I have learned to take a step back and ponder and think and pray and stew on them a little more. But regardless, the Lord has told us what's coming, and Monkey Works just reinforces that thought. If I can get through that feeling of I think I have a pimple that needs to go get popped. How you felt like, oh my word, I need some concealer for this thing, That's how you feel in high school. That's what I'm referring to. Okay, so that's who I listen to. And granted, brace for whatever you think might be coming. I believe it's war. And I believe it's high prices. I believe it's shortages already. What was I? Oh, yeah, it was. I don't know if this is a fluky thing or not, but I was like, okay, I'm going to get some sugar-free hot chocolate because that's been kind of my go-to for self-soothing lately. I've been needing some self-soothing, y'all. Today in the Panhandle of Texas, where I am at, it's cold and wet. Go figure. Sometimes May is like this. This is not a big, oh my gosh, it's never like this before. No, that's not true. It's sometimes the 1st of May, you get a cold day like this. It's rainy. We have that today. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to make a cup of hot cocoa and sit down just after take a break. I'm going to take a break and drink a cup of hot chocolate. Well, I realized I only have one packet of Swiss Miss left. Only one, a rookie mistake, right? So I was like, oh, well, I'm going to put some in my cart right quick. I was shocked at the price. I was surprised at how expensive it is. I'm like, is that the tariffs, or is that just been that long since I bought a box of this? I don't know. But I did my eyebrows went up and thought, wow, that's a little pricey. But you know what? I'm going to pull the trigger on that because that's what's been helping me. I tell you, when we had that big dust storm and our electricity went off, and I thought, man, it's going to be off for a week. Yeah, I was cracking out that hot cocoa and guzzling it. Yeah. So anyway, all right. Enough about me. Enough about what's going on. Let me tell you. Oh, I forgot my water in there. Oh well. Hopefully, I won't choke to death while I'm talking. All right. Here is something that you may have in your area when it comes to gardening. All right. Now, I just don't love to garden. I don't. I like it enough. This year, like I said, I'm not having a garden. I've got too many other family stresses going on where my attention needs to be on my mom and dad this year. But uh, last year I had a huge garden, and I have had many gardens. I know how to garden. And what I learned is at our feed store just down the road, about 30 miles down the road, there's a feed store, and it's where I get my chicks. And they're very good. They're very good business. They really try to go to the extra mile with you. Real friendly, real nice. It is in the next town that I don't hobnob with, so I don't really. I know a couple of people that live over there, but I don't really have anything to do with this town except their feed store. Now, when what they have, it's kind of creepy. Feed stores can be creepy, y'all, if you're not used to going in there. They're a subculture of agriculture, farming, ranching. I mean, it is a subculture. So you walk in, it's a man's place, I would say, and women, I I don't know. They go in there from time to time, I'm sure, but it is a man's world, I would say. And in this particular feed store, there is this cabinet in a dark corner because there's no light in this. There might be some light, but basically it's the garage doors that are open that light this space. It's a huge space in the back of their feed store. It's where they keep all the feed. So there's shelves and shelves and shelves of all this huge amount of feed. And of course a forklift and a this, and there's some farm supplies in there and stuff. But there's this cabinet that has seeds, just seeds. And it's like, honestly, the cabinet, I mean, I don't know. It's about, I know you can't really see. It is about, I don't know, 2.5 feet wide. And it has a counter and a cupboard that you open, all right? And it's old-timey wood looking. And there's little drawers all in this cabinet. And each little drawer has seeds in it. Okay, so you can take the drawer out and scoop out how much seed you want and weigh it. And then you get a packet like this and scoop your seed in here, and then you write on it what it is and how much it weighed. Okay, you fill out a little card how much the like squash seed you got. Okay, so it's dirt cheap, y'all. It is dirt cheap. I went hog wild the first time I went there. I was like, oh, I'll take this, I'll take this, I'll take this, And this is so pretty because I mean, look at it. This is squash seed. No, it's not heirloom. All right. So if you're an heirloom, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're not buying heirloom. You probably need to turn this channel off because sometimes I just get what's cheap. All right. So this is hybrid, I would imagine, and so I guess that's the best way. So this is squash, yellow crooked neck squash seed. All right, and so I just put this. Now, obviously, I got more than I needed to plant, so I just put this in the freezer. I press the air out of it, I roll it, I put it in the freezer. Say, here's a littler bag. Once again, this is straight neck squash, yellow. So this is that seed, all right? So, yeah, look how much seed that is. I mean, that's 3 or 4 years of squash, all right? I mean, you don't need a lot of squash seed, y'all. You really don't. So, this is probably the first time I went there. I probably still had that packet like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get all this seed for 45 cents, So, anyway, you might have that available in your area. You should probably call around to your small towns. If you're in the city, call around to the small towns, see if there is a feed store, and ask them, do y'all have seed like, you can scoop and save, by the pound kind of thing. They may or they may not. I don't know. But this one does, and I love it. I love it. They can okra. I mean, just any seed you want. It's amazing. And so I got into this zone, because I was the only one in there getting the seed. And there was like nobody in there at all except these cowboy looking people. And so I was just like, there was an overhead light over this cabinet, and it was like I went into a world all by myself, me and my seeds, and I was just getting them and scooping them. I had a ball. I had a ball. So you can do that too. It's a good way to maybe get seeds and put them in the freezer. Once again, these aren't all going to come up after they've been in the freezer a while, but many of them will. So just keep that in mind as a resource. Last year, on another, I'm taking another turn, y'all. Just go with me. On another note, I bought several packets of okra seed just from the dollar store. I didn't think one iota of it was going to come up because there's this cheap looking, crappy looking seed. And I thought, well, heck, I'm just going to plant this anyway. I had the best okra crop I've ever had. I had okra stalks in the fall that were well over 7 feet tall. I could not reach them. I'm 5'2". I could not even reach them to get the okra, to cut it. I mean, I had to have Mike do it. So it was, so you never know. You never know. If you can get cheap seed somewhere, buy seeds. Buy seeds. If everything goes to hell in a handbasket, y'all, like we already kind of are, those seeds are going to be gold. That's going to be gold. Okay, now then, let's talk Bible, and I'm going to bring you an entry from my journal that you will find comforting, for sure, comforting. All right, here's the story behind this. Oh my goodness, I've been prattling on. Yesterday morning was Sunday before church. I got a bee in my bonnet. I can't even explain what it was. I was feeling anxious about things, not horribly, but like we've had some issues that need to be resolved, and they weren't resolving quick enough for me. So I was getting frustrated. I told God all about it. I just said and so then I went outside in my backyard and decided to clear the walking path in my backyard. My backyard's huge. I have these huge trees, and we have made a walking path. But because of the winter and other things, it had grown up a little bit. It needed to be cleared. We had this super big tree, a pine tree, like a 70-foot pine tree that the wind blew over, and that Mike had chopped into firewood, but he'd left it. I mean, he hadn't had time to clean it all up yet. So I went out there and I got these huge stumps of pine tree stumps, and I lined the path and I raked the path, and I was like, God, I know you're going to make my path straight. I know you're going to smooth this path inside of me, not the real path I was working on. It was all symbolic. You see, it was all a metaphor. Like I told God, I was like, I need my path smooth, Father. And he's patient and loving enough to put up with me. But while I was begging him to smooth my path, I was literally smoothing a path in the backyard. I made it nice and neat and clean. I lined it with all kinds of things I found in my backyard, logs and sticks, big, because when a pine tree falls over, you got a lot of debris. Okay, you really do. So that's what I did yesterday morning, and I just wanted to tell you that story because whatever's happening with you, the Lord will smooth your path, and he will make it straight. And we have to wait on the Lord and trust him and not quit praying. And I have to bring you Psalms 23. The Lord is my shepherd. I have all that I need. What was that, Gina? I have all that I need. Quit your bawling. That's how I feel sometimes. He lets me rest in green meadows. He leads me beside peaceful streams. He renews my strength. He guides me along right paths, bringing honor to his name. That is my stinking purpose. Yours too. To walk and bring honor and glory to God. He guides me along the right paths. Even when I walk through the darkest valley or the valley of the shadow of death, depends on what version you're reading, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me. Your rod and your staff protect and comfort me. You prepare a feast for me in the presence of my enemies. Yeah, come get me. I'm sitting at the table with Jesus. I'd like to see you try enemies. I'm sorry. I'm just having fun with this, y'all. Are you feeling it? You honor me by anointing my head with oil. My cup overflows with blessings. Surely your goodness and unfailing love, I'm just going to say it, surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. So that's what I was hanging my hat on yesterday, because I really kind of needed that. So then this is what I wrote in my journal. And you square this with the Holy Spirit through prayer, and whatever resonates with you, you internalize it and run with it. If it doesn't, just click off. You don't have to do nothing with it. Nobody's forcing you to do anything with this. But when I worship and pray every morning with Jesus, sometimes he talks to me and I write it down. May 4th, 2025. My peace I give unto you, my lovely one. Dwell in my quiet rest with me. Stay inside the walls of my heart, for therein you will find peaceful power. All you have brought to me this morning I hear and already know. You are safe. Glide upon my silver wings of constant, continual, never-ending, abiding, attendant holiness. My Godness. All you are fretting about will be made smooth by my strength. Keep seeking me, my lovely one, for I am near you, over you, in you, always, every moment. Your anguish will diminish very soon. Be still in heart, head, and soul. Be still with me. I rescue. What feels like drowning in the deep end to you is resolved by one whisper of no from me, one word of leave, one swipe of my hand across the stresses of your heart, like your hand against a gnat. When I move, I remove your angst. You will soon see resolution. What you, child, believed would be best, I will alter to make even better. You will see. The issue of your worries, I will remove. Trust. And that was very encouraging to me, because y'all, sometimes I think life should go a certain way. When it doesn't go that way, I'm like, God, that looked really good. Why didn't that happen? And he's like, girl, would you sit down and just let me do this thing for you? I've got something better in mind, and you don't even know what it is, but I do. All right, gang. I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope it helped you. And man, we'll just see what happens next on the world front. I'm fixing to go make some chicken pot pie because it's cold out and we need some comfort food tonight. So that's what I'm doing. Stay safe, America. From the pantry, this is Gina Lima Charlie. I'm out.